What's going on, wash fam? Today we are doing a roof wash, a house wash, and a screen enclosure wash. No deck, no driveway. These are the three services they chose, so that's what we're gonna get done. We've got the hoses wrapped out. Chris is getting ready to hop up on the roof and spray the roof. We've got our gutters bagged so we can collect our runoff. Chris just turned the 10 GPM on, cueing me to water. So we're gonna get straight into this video. Stay tuned. All right, wash fam, today was a nice, easy day. We were off by 1 p.m. and I will reveal the ticket price of this job later. But first things first, before you start the actual services that you were hired to do, there's some things to do around the property that you need to handle first. So first off, we need to put our cones out. This is gonna let other drivers know that we are stopped and we are working. And two, if someone hits you or if you hit someone around the neighborhood, this is gonna help you out on the legal side of things. If you don't have cones out, your case is not looking too good. After that, we throw some bags on the gutters. This is gonna collect our runoff. We will later disperse this on the pavers. This is just guaranteeing that there's no chlorine going into the garden beds, into the roots of the vegetation. And then you're gonna see us put some tape on this doorbell. This is the only concerning electrical component that we found on this job. Everything else had covers. Last thing to do before the job gets started is soak that vegetation before the overspray of the roof is coming down. You don't wanna be starting your watering and your roof spraying at the same exact time. You want to be a little ahead of the guy spraying the roof and get those plants all pre-soaked beforehand. Now that we're actually starting the roof wash, you guys, there's a few things I want you to note when watering vegetation. What's going on, wash fam? I hope you enjoyed this video. Really quick, I just wanted to mention my community is officially live. You guys, this is not a course, this is a hub. In this community, you'll have access to one-on-one mentorship calls with me via Zoom, live group calls, endless how-to content, a tight-knit community where you're not overlooked, marketing materials, and so much more. Eventually, you guys, so much will be added to this community, but for now, as we build it up, it's going to be on sale as a launch price for $49 a month. So you'll still have access to those one-on-one calls, those group calls, and also you'll have a community of like-minded entrepreneurs that are all chasing the same exact goal. Also, your price will always be grandfathered in, so don't miss out on this early bird special. This is a free 7-day trial, you guys. You will not be charged for 7 days, so if you don't absolutely love it, you won't lose a dime. The link to my community is in the video description down below. I hope to see you guys there. I know you're thinking, oh, what's there to it to water some plants? But there is a few things that can help you along this process. And number one is kind of always be shadowing the roof sprayer. This way you're getting an eye where overspray is landing, where it may be going. He may overshoot it too far into an area that you wouldn't expect. So this is just a great way to see what's actually going on and being able to rinse that down immediately. So in a lot of these clips, you'll see Chris in the video because he's literally right by me. I'm watering the plants. He's spraying the roof. Like I said, you always kind of want to be mirroring each other. We'll get to points where he's a little bit ahead of me or I'm a little bit behind him just so I'm not getting sprayed by SH. Another great pointer that I want to give you guys is I'm always spraying these bushes and vegetation from different angles. I'm not just standing way far away from the property and soaking it, you know, from the sidewalk facing the house. I'm getting in different angles. I'm getting in on the walkway. I'm getting behind the bushes. This is just a great way to know that you thoroughly soaked down all vegetation. And one of the main things, you guys, is soaking the roots because that's what the plants and bushes are going to be drinking. So you don't want it to be drinking any SH. You want to soak those roots and dilute that chemical. And before I hear it in the comments, I know you guys are going to say, oh, he's spraying from the top to the bottom. He's not hitting the faces of any of the tiles. This is the second coat, you guys. This is a touch-up coat, so there is no need to be spraying upwards into the faces of the tiles. We already did that on the first coat. This is just a light touch-up coat to get any remaining organic growth out. This roof wash, fam, is just about finished, but we're not there yet. Chris is up on the roof and he's going to hit a button, literally, so he can switch from the roof. He can actually switch our chemical solution to fresh water. So we're not only rinsing from the roof. He didn't have to get down. I didn't have to go to the truck to switch anything, but he's rinsing from the roof and he's flushing out our system with fresh water. So that chemical isn't just sitting in there corroding as we're going to the next job. If you guys want to shop my exact soft wash system, I'll link that in the video description below. Hey, it's got a pretty price tag, but the things it can do is phenomenal. For example, we just got this roof wash done in no less than 30 to 45 minutes. And I always tell my viewers, if you can save time and make more money per hour with equipment, then go invest in it. But hey, let's move on to the next part of this job. Next up is the house wash, you guys. So as you can see, we're just applying our soap mixture. This is a 2% mix. It's got some heavy staining on some of the sides, so we're gonna go a little hotter at a 2% mix, but we're just applying that to every square inch. But there is a few things that you're gonna wanna do as you're doing a house wash. One is, you can see I'm soaking down this wood door with water before chemical goes on it, and I will rinse it down quickly after there is SH touching it. You don't want to damage the wood or stain it and make it look uneven. And another thing I'm doing is staying right behind Chris with his soft wash system, and I'm diluting down any vegetation that may be getting overspray on it. With the house wash, it's inevitable, you can't avoid it going on there. And 2% is a little risky, so on a hot summer day like this, we don't risk it, and I just follow behind and water the vegetation down. But it's pretty plain and simple, you guys. Chris will do the same techniques all the way around the house, and I will be following right behind him, just rinsing. Huge tip I want to share is, as I'm going around the house, I'm soaking all vegetation that I'm passing by. So there's really, especially for shrubbery, there's no such thing as overwatering these things. You don't want any chemical left behind, you guys. I can't stress that enough. But one more pro tip I just want to mention for exterior house washes, like you see in this clip right here, you need to be hitting behind the gutter. If there's a gap where the trim and the gutter meet and you can see the back side of that gutter, you need to be cleaning that, you guys. That is what they can see from the home. Yeah, it's not what you see from the outside, but it is what you see from the inside. And you just want to hit every area, especially if you're charging prices like we're going to mention. If you are claiming to be a professional, you need to be hitting these areas, you guys, and you don't want anything left behind. If someone's paying for an exterior house wash, you want that puppy sparkling all the way around. But enough of the house wash, let's move on to the last service of this job. Cleaning a back patio screen enclosure has its own techniques and tips that I'm going to mention in this video, but the nice thing is that you can usually use the same percent solution that you were using on the house. In most cases, they are about the same level of dirty, so they probably get these two things cleaned at the same time. It's very rare that I have to use a drastically different solution on one or the other. On a newer property or a property that is much more maintained, we could probably get away with a 1 to 1.5% mixture on a house and screen enclosure wash, but with this one being so dirty, it's surrounded by vegetation, as you can see in this video, it just requires a little bit of a hotter mix. And not to mention, in Florida, mold, algae just grows rampant out here, so it needs that hot sauce to really clear things up. Chris is just applying this cage top to bottom, hitting all the beams, all sides, hitting all screen mesh. And this way we're just absolutely cleaning this thing the best we can from top to bottom. I like to start rinsing. I'll blow these super gutters out first, all the debris in there, because usually the debris is just gonna fly everywhere. So you wanna get this part out of the way first. And then I like to move on to the actual framing of the enclosure. And then last but not least, we will rinse down those screens, those panels one by one, and that will ensure your job comes out absolutely perfect. Let's do a quick recap on this job, you guys. So starting top to bottom, you always want to start top to bottom. If you have a roof wash on the agenda, start with that roof wash, get it out of the way. We used a 5% mix on this roof, just like the house in the cage. It had some buildup. We wanted to get off of that roof as soon as possible, so 2 coats did the trick. We also used C3's soap lineup Blue Crush. This is the most bang for your buck surfactant soap on the market. I'll link that down in the video description as well. And the things I want you to take away most from the roof wash, you guys, if you can, bag some downspouts. This is just going to collect your runoff and again save you a lot of headache. You won't burn grass, you won't kill shrubs, and always be spraying that water. From start to finish, you want to be spraying water. If you're solo, just take breaks on the roof, get down, water vegetation. But that is a critical part of this job, you guys. And then to touch base on the house wash, again, 2% mix. So this is a little hotter than a typical house wash mix, but again, being in Florida, we're going to need some hot sauce to clean up these dirty homes. This just makes us move along much quicker. We're not having to go back and double, triple coat things. It's one and done. We're being cautious with the chemical. We're rinsing everything down thoroughly. We're rinsing the vegetation down as we go, but we want to be in and out of these job sites, you guys. So 2% mix, hit it, boom, done. Moving on to the third and final thing was the cage wash that we did today. So again, 2% mix, and same thing. It's just going to melt this grime right off. We don't want to be doing 2 to 3 coats. We want to be in and out. Obviously, you don't need to nuke it with a 6% mix, but if we can go just a little bit hotter, to ensure that this stuff melts off like butter, we're gonna do that because we don't wanna be spending all day at this job. But that's it, Wash Fam. And this ticket on this job was $1,200 and we were done by lunch. We got to head home, have a nice half day. We each got that $50 tip. It was a good day. That's a wrap on this video, you guys. Roof washed, house washed, back patio, screen enclosure completely washed. We also did freebies along the way. You know, we rinsed down the driveway, walkway. I rinsed down the deck as well, just so it looks a little bit better, you guys. It doesn't take that much time. Yeah, they didn't pay for it, but we didn't do a full detail service. This is a lovely returning customer, so little freebies never hurt nobody, especially to show love to the ones that supported your business in the very beginning stages like this one did. They didn't even live at this house when we originally did business together, when I was brand new and Jess, my wife, was out on the field eating that chlorine with me. So I do not mind going above and beyond for customers like this. As always, Wash Fam, thank you so much for joining these videos. Hope you gained something out of it. Till next time, peace.